Welcome back, fellow farmers and friends, to Frankenmuth Farms on the much long overdue episode 6. Happy to be back on Frankenmuth Farms. A lot has been happening since the last episode, just in general. Life in general. Work's been getting a little busy. Stuff around the house has been getting a little busy, but nonetheless, we are back to bring you episode 6 here from Frankenmuth. And we've got a couple contracts that we're going to knock out today, and you might notice that we're about to harvest this cotton field right here, which is not something that we typically do. I'm not normally the biggest fan of doing cotton harvest or anything like that, just because of the fact that it is so expensive and it's very time consuming, and whatever other excuse that we can come up with is why we really don't enjoy doing cotton field harvest. But I think what we are going to do for this harvest here is we're going to get started on this field. I'm probably just going to make a quick headland pass around this field, just kind of get an outline going, and at which point I think we're going to turn an AI worker loose to continue to harvest this field. We have another contract on reserve right now that we also need to accomplish. It's fairly simplistic, straightforward. It's a fertilizing contract, and it's the field that actually surrounds our farm. That's very convenient for us. So before we get started and we get going too much further here, let's take a look at what we have going on as far as contracts to finish up the month of November. So with field 14, we're going to harvest the cotton field as part of the contract. We're going to complete the contract work, and then I think we're going to take a look at purchasing this field. Field 14 is a pretty decent sized field. It's going to give us a little bit more area to work with than our current field does, where we have the wheat planted down in the southwest corner of the map. It's close proximity to the farm, which I really like, and I don't know what we're going to plant here just yet, but I do like the ideas of purchasing field 14. Now, price-wise, it does go for a little bit of money. It would be rather taxing on our bank account, if you will. It goes for $115,000, but the yield is pretty good. 98%, no silty clay here. So once we get everything harvested, once we get all the precision farming done, we're going to be in a pretty good position to put some crop in here and get started with field 14. Definitely need to monitor this AI worker here to make sure that they don't do anything super crazy. Matter of fact, let's just fire the AI worker. Let's get the headlands done like I mentioned that I would, so that we can protect the AI worker from doing anything that they don't need to be doing. And then we are going to head over and start on our fertilizing contract. So we are underway with the fertilizing contract here on field 12. And again, we are right next to the farm. Field 12 kind of just wraps around the land that we currently own. And so while we fertilize this field, looking ahead, so we are currently in the month of November. There's not very much more for us to do. We're going to finish up the contract on field 14. I think we are going to do just a few small things around the farm in order to prep ourselves for the winter time. I believe we're going to put down a couple open air gardens as we move into the winter time, and we're going to figure out what we want to have in those open air gardens. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring us in just a little bit of money throughout the winter time, while we wait for the next planting season to arrive. I looked at the calendar here before we got started, and there's just not very much that we can do in order to be overly productive in the wintertime here on Frankenmuth Farms. I mean, realistically, we're kind of just going to be in management mode, taking care of anything that needs to be taken care of around the farm. Our wheat field is self-sustaining at this point. It's currently in all of its active growth stages prior to the harvest. We do not have any animals on the farm, so there's going to be nothing that we need to keep up with feeding or anything of that nature. So I think once we're done here in the month of November, I feel like the next move for us to make is to move into the planting season, which will bring us into a new year here on Frankenmuth Farms. 6 episodes into the series, and we are moving into the second year on Frankenmuth. Seems like just yesterday we were just getting started. I mean, technically year 2 it really starts when we hit August. Again, that's when year 2 is really going to start, but it'll be a new calendar year for us on Frankenmuth Farms. I think we need to go real big in this next planting and harvesting season on the map. We definitely need to start increasing our ownership of certain fields. I think what we're going to do is once we harvest the wheat field that we originally bought, I think we're going to flip that field, sell it for whatever profit that we can make, and we're going to start looking at expanding our farm. I'd love to have some of these fields that are right here, right around the house. This is where I'd really like to be, just for proximity. Everything that we'll have to do will be basically right out our back door, which is going to be very simple, very easy for us to manage. We've started getting some equipment. We definitely need more equipment, though. That's the other side of this battle that I feel like we need to focus on as well. We can't focus just solely on buying all these fields and then still have minimal equipment to utilize to manage them. Leasing does, after a while, kind of bleed us out on money, especially depending on what we are leasing, compared to just owning the piece of equipment, and then we can use it as we see fit, as often as we see fit, to utilize that piece of equipment. So let me go ahead and finish up the fertilizing contract, and what we'll do is we'll jump back over to the cotton harvester. We'll get that field taken care of, and then we are also going to work on getting our open air gardens put down and see what exactly it is that we want to put in our open air gardens to help us make a little bit of money here through the winter time to help supplement our income, seeing as how farming is not going to be the primary means for us to make money in the months of December, January, and February. I think what we're going to do at that point is we're going to get right into March, where there is a lot of options for crop available to be planted, and we're going to kind of map out what our harvest season is going to look like, which is very contingent upon us being able to afford more fields. We need to make more money. All right, so we finished up the fertilizing contract, and we have officially turned that in. One thing that we are going to take a look at is we're going to look at these greenhouses here, these little open air gardens that we have. So these are very unique. I will have to reset my store delivery point, but these are very unique in that they do a lot of different crops. And then we also have the option to run these with manure, with seeds, and with fertilizer. Now, if we run it with seed and fertilizer, the output of the open air gardens is significantly higher and much quicker. We do have upgradable factories installed, which will give us a bit of an increased output on these open air gardens as well. So we'll take a look at that. I'm thinking this area right here is going to be just about right for these open air gardens. What we can do is just have the pallet spawn point tucked here into the grass so that as we go to access our silo, we're not trying to maneuver around pallets, or we can angle them this way and we can have the pallet spawn. We can just put some roads in between these and have ease of access to our pallets that way as well, which realistically we're probably going to set these to selling, which means we're not going to necessarily have to worry about pallet spawn, which would be nice. Don't get me wrong. First things first, let's reset our store delivery point. Let's go back into production greenhouses and open air garden. Yeah, I'm really feeling this area right here for these open air gardens. Now, I want to leave a little bit of space around them because in the event we do decide to do like some fencing decorations, but I'm thinking we put one right there, enough room for a road to go through there, which should be pretty much about right there, I'm thinking. Make sure that these line up for the most part. We'll do one there, and then I think we could get away with doing a third one. So we got 3 open air gardens now. Now what I'm going to do just to clean this area up is go back into our landscaping, go back to painting here, and then we're just going to throw, is this the right style gravel? It is. Perfect. Kind of just clean the front of these up, make them all look relatively the same. You know, matter of fact, we might as well just do that right there. Just clean these whole areas up. Now, the other nice thing about this is we do have the automatic irrigation mod installed as well, too. So we do not have to worry about water or anything of that nature. So what we are going to do is activate... we are going to activate automatic irrigation. Yes. So it automatically fills it with 20,000 liters of water. I'm going to do that for all 3 of these real quick. All right, so we now have automatic irrigation activated for all 3 of these greenhouses. Realistically, now it just boils down to what do we want to have in all of these greenhouses. First, though, let's take a look here. Let's upgrade each of these to level 3. There we go. So we spent a fair amount of money. We're kind of reset right now. But now that one holds 60,000 liters of water. That one's holding 60,000 liters of water. And that one's holding 60,000 liters of water, which again, with the automatic irrigation mod, we don't have to worry about bringing more water to it. Now, in the future, if we do decide to add seed and fertilizer to these to increase the output, then absolutely we will have to continue to feed seed and fertilizer into these as well. But what I would like to do is take a look at the prices. So we have the option of doing soybeans, we could do cotton, we can do corn, we can do sunflowers. Really just boils down to what is selling for what. So let's look at and compare prices for sunflowers, soybeans, and corn. Because I know lettuce, tomatoes, and strawberries, they don't really sell for much. Potatoes is actually also on my radar as well. Sunflowers right now sells for, let's just average it out and say about $600. At high peak season, they sell for $800. That's really not that bad. We take a look at corn, $505. Current prices are probably going to be down a little bit, so $258. So that's of concern for me. I mean, we are approaching the highest point for selling corn. Soybeans, I'm thinking soybeans is a no-brainer. We definitely need to make one of these soybeans. So let's just go ahead. Let's take the very first one that we have. And let's activate soybeans. Let's turn this over to change output mode to selling. So now we're automatically going to sell off our soybeans that we're getting. The next one that we're going to take a look at here is going to be potatoes. $284. No bueno. Cotton. That's a fantastic price for cotton. Pretty much all year round. We're going to make over $1,000 all year round per 1,000 liters. So I think what we'll do is we'll go back to the second greenhouse here and we will activate cotton. And now this one here, I might set this one to storing, because if we can get enough money, then we can buy the spinnery and we can start making fabric. Fabric is going to be a key piece for making clothing, and then clothing sells for a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. Sunflowers is probably going to end up being the third one because the price is not bad, but we can also convert the sunflower over to sunflower oil. So I'm thinking with the third and final greenhouse that we have, we're going to go with sunflowers, and then we're going to change the output mode to selling. So there we go. We have one greenhouse with sunflowers, one with cotton, and then we have another one here with soybeans. Perfection. This is going to be nice for us to have. We'll get an idea of how much money this is going to make us. Now, do I think this is going to make us a ton of money right off the start? No, definitely not going to make us a ton of money, but it's going to help us. And eventually we can fill these with seed and fertilizer, and we can really start increasing the output of these gardens as well. Let's go check on our AI worker and see how the cotton harvest is going. Well, Artie's not doing too bad. He's almost done with the field, besides the fact that, you know, the cotton bales are in the middle of the road right now. These AI workers, man, look at this. We got a traffic jam now. I mean, really, that's the best place? That's really where you came up with storing these bales? Sorry, folks. Yeah, no, I know. I got it. You can stop honking at it. I'll get it. Assuming that I know how to use this bale trailer. There we go. Got one. So we got both the bales off the street. That was good. A little bit of a traffic jam there. Thanks to the AI worker. Really appreciate them. I want to take a look, though, real quick and just see what is the amount that needs to be delivered. Now, we ain't going to make hardly anything off of doing this, so we actually need to deliver 32,000 liters, and I think those bales on that trailer are, let's take a look at them here, 10,000. So yeah, we're gonna need at least 3 bales. So my guess is we're probably gonna pull 4 bales off of this field, maybe 4 bales off this field. If we're lucky, we'll pull 4 off this. So we just have a few last spots here to clean up in this field. I want to try to get as much cotton off of this as I possibly can, because right now this bale right here basically takes us into pure profit. So as much cotton as we can get is going to definitely help us out. We're going to be able to fit all bales on that trailer, which is good, so we don't have to make multiple runs to take care of any of that. Now, we're not going to make much money off this contract, right? This is only like I bet we probably in total make $8,000 to $9,000 off of this contract here. Now, with that, as soon as I can remember how to use a cotton harvester here, got to turn the harvester. You actually got to lower. There you go. You got to lower the harvester header. There, now, oh, it's still not working. I am not doing well right now. I'm like an AI worker. That is much better. All right, so just cleaning up this edge of the field here. So the money that we're gonna make off this contract is one thing. I mean, it's small, it's tiny, it's not that much money whatsoever. The important thing is, once we do finish this contract up, we get a 5% discount on purchases of any field owned by this owner. The nice thing about that is this field only cost, to purchase it, this field only costs $115,000. So let's just say 10% off of this field would be what? $11,500. So 5% should be half of that. So we're really going to get like a $5,500 discount. So the money that we're making from the contract is basically the amount of money that we're going to get discounted off the field. So this field realistically should only cost us about $110,000 by the time everything's all said and done. Now, if we were to flip field 32, our field down here in the corner, I should say field 30, we would make $86,000. Now, this field's 2.4 hectares, and then this one up here is actually 3.4, so it is bigger. It's 1 hectare bigger, which means that we're going to pull more crop off of this field. A couple different options that we have available to us. We could flip this field right now and then just go ahead and purchase this field up here, which would be nice because it's been harvested. We could plow it. We can move into the planting season, and it's pretty much open season on whatever we want to plant in the March and April timeframe. We could do a cornfield. We could do sunflowers. We could do soybeans. I mean, we could do sorghum. I'd want to do something that's going to make me the most amount of money, which right now I'm willing to bet is probably going to be, it's going to be a toss-up between oat and soybeans. So if that's the route that we took, looking at oats, 643. Soybeans is going to win. Soybeans is going to win, and the nice thing about that is it's a relatively decent turnaround on when we can harvest soybeans. But we also have the open-air garden, so that's going to help out as well, too, because we're going to be producing soybeans over there as well via the open-air garden. So with this being done, we are going to go ahead. I don't think we can actually utilize this partial bale that's here. How do I get rid of the bale that's in here? I don't think that we can. This is not good. How am I supposed to get rid of this bale? Well, I don't know what they want me to do because we need what's in here for the delivery for the contract. I don't see an option. Yeah, I don't see an option to actually discharge the bale that's currently in here. Well, that's no good. All right, I think I have an idea on how we can fix this. Hold tight. All right, I got it. Figured it out. We got it. I don't think, I don't know. I don't think it's going to help us. But yeah, so basically there was no way to discharge the cotton that was currently in here. Unless I'm missing something, there was no way that I seen to discharge the cotton that was in there. So what we did, and I'm going to apologize because it's a bit of a cheaty method. We just went ahead and spawned a 4th bale onto the field, which, yes, is going to definitely make us a little bit of extra money, but at the same time, it's okay. We're going to survive. Let's go ahead and scoop up this bale here. Now, where do we have to take this stuff? Yep, clean across the map. How did I know that that was going to be the case with this? So let's take this over here. Hopefully, it allows us to turn in this bale that we just picked up. Given that it was a spawned bale, it wasn't actually taken off the field. I probably should have picked up the other bale that's sitting over here in the end there. I probably should have picked that one up because that one did come off that field. But nonetheless, we're going to head down here to the sell point, drop this stuff off, see what our percentage is for the transport part of this contract. We'll catch up with you guys when we get down there and give you the update on the details of this contract. All right, we are 93% transported for the contract. The last bale is definitely going to be key for us. We're going to make some money off that last bale, which is fine. It's good. It's going to help us out. And then at which point we'll turn the contract in. We'll collect the little bit of money that we're actually going to make off the contract itself. And then we need to put our game plan together because we are going to kind of just skip through the winter time. I'm only going to take opportunities to check the sales page and make sure that nothing's coming up on the sales page that we can possibly afford and that we actually need for the farm. I don't want to buy anything that we don't necessarily need. I also don't want to overspend on any piece of equipment that we'll need for the farm. And then that's going to be our process as we progress our way into March We're going to see how the greenhouses do for us, see what kind of money that they bring in for us. And then hopefully, as we move into the next season, we'll be able to purchase some more fields and some more equipment for our farm here on Frankenmuth. All right, we are delivering the final bale from the contract here on field 14. Let's go ahead and unload that. We made $12,000 off that bale. Slightly skewed numbers because we did spawn an extra bale into the field because we couldn't unload the combine or the cotton harvester as it was. So yeah, was it a little cheaty? Yeah, just a little bit. I apologize for that. Won't happen again. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and turn this contract in. Let's make this little bit of money that we're going to make here. We're only going to make $4,000. I mean, I feel like it's okay. We made a little extra money off the contract itself. Collect the money. We also get a 5% discount. Now, this guy owns this same field, field 36, right? So we could do the baling contract on field 36. And then basically at that point, we'd have a 10% discount from Samuel Ortega. And we could continue to look at purchasing his fields. Now, some other harvesting contracts have popped up, but there's none that I'm in dire need of, like needing to run right out and take care of and do. The only ones that I would be interested in would probably be the corn harvest, which we're going to skip on that. Deliver 115,000 liters. And again, it's Samuel Ortega. This dude owns what? Every field on Frankenmuth Farms, apparently. Insane, man. He's got field 36. He's got field 6. He's got field 14. Dude is just rich with farmland. He's got a lot of different stuff. Does he own anything else? Doesn't look like it. All right, anyways, let's head back over to our farm, and here we are. Quick little teleport action to get us over there. So we're finishing up the month of November with $73,000 in the bank. That's not bad. Looks like our soybeans, all this kind of stuff is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So for us, what we are going to do, one thing I would like to change real quick is just we're going to bump our time up to the 3 times multiplier here just to kind of help us move along. The month of November, pretty much done. Pretty much taken care of. One thing I am going to do before we progress to the month of December and onward is I am going to save the game real quick, and then we'll see you guys in December. All right, the month of December is upon us. We've got a couple pallets of cotton that has spawned out here. 3,000 liters to be exact is what we have, with another 350 in production right now. As you can see, we didn't make very much money. A matter of fact, I don't think we made any money. Let's go take a look at our bank account stuff here and see how we did. So if we look at, let's see, where is our sold goods? Where are we at here? Sold products. So in November, we only sold $6,200 worth of stuff. And so far in December, we've sold $1,500 worth. So, I mean, we are making money, but that money is being offset by wage payments and expenses, meaning it costs money to keep this stuff up and running. So property maintenance and all that kind of good stuff, that is costing us money, which is also taking away production costs already here, $1,100, might as well say $1,200. And that eats into the money that we're making, which leads us to the fact that we're only making a couple $100 here so far in the month of December. Taking a look at contracts, if there's any targets of opportunity in this month, which I don't anticipate there being, there's not really. I mean, there's some cultivating contracts out there, which we're not really interested in. So on to January we go. Oh, it's starting to look like a winter wonderland here on Frankenmuth Farms. Boy, oh boy. Tell you what, let's get all of our equipment put away here real quick. Let's get this stuff all put into the barns, so that way we can keep them out of the elements here just a little bit. We'll park the truck right in here, and then we'll go get our tractor and we'll pull that in here. And then we'll take a look at everything that's happening so far for the month of January. Can't imagine that there's going to be too much around here for us to really be concerned about. We are making money. We are just, kind of slid there a little bit. We're just making money very slowly is all, which is fine because we're not taking huge hits in our bank account, but we're also not really putting much into it. So let's go ahead here. We have another, what do we have? 7,000? So we have 7,000 liters of cotton sitting out here. I think we've got room for one more pallet to spawn, and then we're gonna have to transport this stuff and get rid of that. Sunflowers and the Soybeans, they are selling off, so that is good. Let's take a look at contracts. Again, can't imagine there's going to be much of anything. There is not. And the last thing we're going to do is take a peek at the sales page, which once again, there's nothing. I mean, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. We could pick up a header for an eventual combine if we could ever afford one. I think it's just time to go on to February. Let's get out of this nasty cold weather. So taking a look at our greenhouse here that has cotton. So right now it is storing 4,000 liters of cotton, and we have 8,000 liters that have spawned. So we currently have 12,000 liters of cotton that we could sell if we really wanted to in efforts to make a little bit more money. Let's see, when does cotton sell for its most amount? Sells for the most in March. Man, we are lucking out. Actually, I don't know. I think maybe we take a chance and we sell some of this cotton this month. However, I think what we need to also do is take a look at the spinnery. I have an idea. I just need to see what this idea could possibly cost us. So this is where we're going to eventually drop our cotton off at in order to make fabric. So this cost us $60,000. I think I have a pretty good idea. I think we need to bring all 12,000 liters of cotton over here. I think we need to purchase this production point. Done deal. And then we need to go over and we need to collect up all of our cotton. We need to bring this over here right now. And we need to get pallets of fabric spawning. Because what that is going to allow us to do, this is going to work out very well. We are going to be able to sell fabric in the month of May. So we're still going to produce cotton for March and April, and then we can sell in May. And we're probably going to have a couple, I'm going to say close to hopefully 8,000 to 10,000 liters of fabric, which we're going to make triple the amount of money off of compared to just cotton. And then eventually we're going to get into clothing. This is a very good idea. I like this play right here. I think this is a smart move. It's a long-term investment for us that we're going to see a lot of return on. Yeah, this is going to be good for us. So we're going to jump in the New Holland T6 here, and then we need to go ahead and lease a trailer that's going to be able to haul all of this cotton for us. Let's go ahead. I think we've set up our vehicle spawn point. We'll see. The sales delivery point. So let's go ahead and find ourselves a bale trailer, or actually, it's not going to be a bale trailer. It's very likely going to just be a flatbed trailer. Let's see here. I don't really want that one. Let's take a look up here and see what we got. Stuff that can haul pallets for us. This is an auto-loading pallet, 8,000 liters. It's not bad. 8 to 8.5, 4 to 12. We need something that does pallets. That's what we really need. Do we have anything that's going to do pallets? I think these will do pallets for us as well. Yes, I think it definitely does. We'll lease this real quick. We'll be able to get everything done in one run with this trailer right here. So that's really good. It's good for us. Jump back into New Holland. We're going to hook up to our trailer. We'll get these pallets loaded up, and we'll get these taken over to the spinnery so we can start having fabric made as soon as possible. It's good. This is going to be a good money maker for us. Rolling up to this spinnery here. I think what we're going to do, we're going to do this right. Oh, it's selling off. Or I shouldn't say selling off, but it's being delivered. Back up even a little bit further. Get that last pallet done. All right, so we have 12,000 liters of cotton into the spinnery, which is excellent. Absolutely excellent. We're already producing fabric. That's good. What does this cost us to upgrade this factory? Don't have enough money. Okay, that answers that question. Never mind. Yeah, we'll just go make more money, I guess. Thanks for the friendly letdown on that one there. Wow. Yeah, I just realized our tractor's looking a little dirty. This needs to be cleaned up just a little bit. Done. Just installed the automatic wash mod before we got started. Love it. Absolutely super convenient to have that. Just I was like, oh, I'll try this out, see if this is gonna do what I think it's gonna do. All right, we're back at the farm here. We do have a collectible over here. Check this little guy out. Yeah, look at that. We'll leave it there for right now. I do realize collectibles are supposed to be donated back to the community, as they are, in a way, they're a form of cheating money, but I think we have picked up some collectibles in the past, and I don't think we've turned the money in, but what we'll do is, at a certain point, we'll pick a couple more of these up, and we'll just make a gracious donation back to the town of Frankenmuth. With that, taking a look at the contract, still not very much happening. I mean, we could, realistically, we could knock out some of these smaller contracts here, like this Field 6 probably wouldn't take us very long. Field 17 probably still wouldn't take us very long. And I mean, that's $22,000 coming in. But I think the majority of the contracts are going to make us a fair amount of money are about to start here in the month of March. Plus, we just have one more month to really go. And then we are at where we want to be as far as getting ready for the next seeding and harvesting season. So I think without further ado, let's just kind of make sure. Let's check the status of our wheat field, actually. I'm more and more thinking about selling this field. To be completely fair and honest with you, I truly am right now thinking about selling this. So $86,000 if we were to sell that. That gives us the money to purchase Field 23, which with the discount now, $109,000. You can see the minus 5%. So we saved ourselves roughly about $6,000 on this field. The other thing is, man, it would just be really nice to have a slightly larger field. Maybe we'll hold on to this. We'll harvest the field. We'll take whatever yield we pull off of it. We'll put it into our silo systems. That way we have it. I feel like that's the actual smart thing to do. Otherwise, if we sell the field right now, we're basically leaving money on the field in the form of the crop, the yield that we would pull off of there. So let's just go ahead, get ourselves into the month of March. We managed to make a little bit of money coming out of February and moving into March. And we should have another 4,000 liters of cotton over here that's ready to go to the spinnery. Speaking of the spinnery, let's see how we are faring with fabric. So we still have 10,000 liters of cotton in there. I don't think we're going to have stored a full pallet of fabric yet. So I think this is actually going to take us a couple months to really get fabric going, which is why I really wanted to do upgradable factory on that one there. But nonetheless, I think we're going to wait before we take the remaining 4,000 liters over. Now let's take a look at some of the contracts we have coming up. And once again, just not that much stuff. A couple fertilizing contracts that we can knock out for a total of $10,000. A couple plowing contracts. Field 6 is still up there. I mean, realistically, there's nothing really there for us. It's kind of a bummer. Sales page, of course, that's on sale now. Can't afford that. Oh, the Fent 900. Oh, my Lord. This is actually not a bad sales page. I mean, you got a seeder. You got some nice tractors. Some really nice tractors, actually. That Kloss there is not bad. That Fent is really nice. I mean, that Fent would do a lot for us right there. Man, that's not bad. That's the first decent sales page that we've had in quite some time. And with that, we have another 8,000 liters of cotton. So let's, should have just kept that trailer. No, we shouldn't have, realistically, because it would have charged us an arm and a leg to hold on to that trailer until the month of April. So let's just go ahead. We'll do the same exact thing that we did the last time. Let's go ahead and get our flatbed trailer here. We are going to do the auto load pallets. We don't need ramps, saves us a little bit of extra money. We don't need the wooden deck because that costs more money. Working speed does not matter. Auto load pallets is good. We're gonna lease $930. Done deal. I think we're gonna take the truck this time just because the truck moves a little bit faster than the tractor does. Well, all right, here we are back at the spinnery, and look at that, we got a pallet of fabric out there. Perfect. It's only one, I know, but hey, nonetheless, we got fabric now. So we'll back this up. We will offload the rest of this cotton here. Good to go. Pull this back up into the delivery point there. Perfect. This trailer, realistically, done. Don't need that anymore. So we'll go ahead and return that. Spinnery's looking good. 17,000 liters so far. Not bad. We got 1,000 liters of fabric. So I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll actually pick this up. And we'll take this back to the farm with us just so we have it there. Yeah, that's actually going to work out pretty well for us. We'll throw a cargo strap over top of that. Take this back to the farm. And yeah, I think we're going to start throwing this stuff into one of our barns. And that is going to be right here. I feel like this is going to be perfect. We can drive straight through from either side. And we can pick up all of these pallets that we'll have stored here come time to sell fabric. Now, what we're going to probably end up getting into the habit of doing here, or I guess into the routine, to make it the most beneficial for us financially, I think realistically, the best time to sell that fabric, we're going to hold on to that for this entire year. I'm hoping to have at least 10,000 liters of fabric to sell the next time around when it's at its high point. And that'll be like $30,000-ish for us. Now, we're going to upgrade that factory when we do have enough money and the game stops telling us that we're broke. Once we upgrade the factory, we should be able to produce more fabric every month. So we might even get to a point where we start spawning like 2 to 3 pallets a month, as long as we're keeping the input up, because we have to make sure that we're putting enough cotton in to sustain that type of operation, though. Contract-wise, this is what I was hoping for. So we do have a pretty good-sized baling contract. Now, Adrian Hooper, I'm pretty sure we've done many a contracts for Adrian Hooper. So I think, matter of fact, let's try to find, let's go take a look at Field 10 and see if we already have a discount for any of her land. Yeah, we have a 15% discount. So if we do another contract for Adrian Hooper, I think that's going to bump us up to 20% discount. That is going to be awesome. Plus, not to mention, we kind of just really need the money. We know what we're going to do. We're going to mow it with the big crone daddy right down here. We're going to bale it with the lizard quick bale. Actually, we have to tether it first. Man, you serious? We have to tether? All right, that's not the end of the world. Dry it with the tether and then bale it. Take the bales to the Frankenmuth farmers market. Don't mind if we do. Let's borrow the items to make sure that we have everything that we need. We will jump into the crone. I think the crone actually... Oh, this might work out pretty well, because I think what we can actually do with the crone is possibly haul the tether right behind the crone. Oh, we can. Now the question remains... I don't think that we can do this. Could we actually attach the windrow to the tether? It'd be nuts if we could. Nope, we cannot. All right, that's getting a little greedy. All right, let's maneuver our way out of here with the Big Mac Daddy, the crone. Oh, this is going to be fun. This baling contract is not going to take us. I think we have already done this baling contract, though, once before, if I'm not mistaken. Be right over here, just on the other side of Field 11 that we see here in front of us. And this is going to be a good source of income for us. This is going to put us upwards of about $50,000 for the month of April. You know, and right now I feel like one of our issues right now is we just can't get away from doing contract work. We're not making a ton of money, but that's what you get with a Start From Scratch series. It's very challenging. A lot of the decisions that you make affect how you perform in the game. It's a matter of, what am I doing that is going to make me the most amount of money, that makes the most amount of sense, that's going to keep the farm running. And contracts for right now, until we can get to a point to where we can actually afford, I guess I can line up actually on the edge of the field here, act like I know what I'm doing for just a second. But the decisions that we're making in the early game, contracts are an absolute necessary evil. They have to happen. You have to have contracts, especially if you're doing... is it not going to let me turn the tether? Oh, it's not. That's kind of a bummer. All right, let's detach. Let's just detach that then. No need to do swaths because we have to tether it anyways. So we will just, we'll jump on this and get this started. Yeah, contracts have to exist for the time being in order to help us make some money. So I think what I'm going to start doing is, you know, some of the contracts that we're doing, I'm just going to explain what it is that we have for that month for any of the given contracts that we are working on. And then we're going to go ahead and complete the contract work. Of course, you know, I'll do some highlights of us actually working the fields, completing the contracts, give you guys the updates. And then eventually what that's going to do is we'll start stacking up some money, and then we're ultimately going to start getting into like buying some of our own equipment, at which point, you know, that is also another update. I wanted to feel like we're actually starting to really make some forward progress. And that's not to say that I feel like we're not. I mean, we now have a production point, and we have a very lucrative production point as well, in that we're producing fabric, because fabric unlocks clothing, and clothing is just, that's a moneymaker right there. It's like a cheat code in the game. Clothing is definitely pretty OP, makes a lot of money even on the hard economy mode, which is what we're currently on. So we got to live with the contracts for a little bit. I know it just kind of makes for some mundane work, but in order for us to continue making money, absolutely have to keep knocking them out and getting them done as often as we can. Well, I must admit, it has been a pretty long morning here in the month of April. This baling contract has taken us quite a while to get this done. We are in the process of making our second trip over here to the drop-off point for these bales. And before anything else, I must just acknowledge how awesome these bales look. America. I don't know how the bales turned out that way. I didn't change anything with the baler. I was actually shocked when I seen the first one spit out. I was like, oh, that's a bit of a different look there, a bit of a different vibe for these bales. Nonetheless, I realized something with using that lizard baler that we are so fond of. The contract recognizes that we are going to be doing 4,000 liter bales. So originally we had to deliver 112 bales. Because the baler does 9,000 liter bales, we are in essence doubling what we are delivering each run. So this delivery right here is it. We are actually going to start making money on this delivery right here, because we will have met the criteria for the amount that the contract requires us to deliver. So therefore, these bales right here should start to turn a profit for us. Sure enough, there it is. I mean, we just made $7,000 off that bale alone, or off those last couple bales there. We'll drop that one in. And I'm here to tell you, so that was 64 bales in total that we have delivered. We made 90 bales. So we have 26 more bales that we're gonna be able to turn in for ourselves, all profit, and then collect up on the contract. So this is it right here, 26 more bales going in. Let's see how well we do. I'm gonna try to pull up just a little bit further this time and see if we can get all these bales to sell all at one time. I feel like right about right there should be pretty good. Let's unload those, set those down right about in there. They're all selling at one time. Oh, one bale once again. So we made $12,839 plus $436, so let's just call it $13,300. By the time you add in the environmental score, all of that's going to add up for us as well too. that is going to be a wrap on the baling contract for field 10. Not only are we going to make the money off the contract and off the hay bales that we just turned in, but we're also going to add to our discount that we get for any fields that are owned by Adrian Hooper. So let's go ahead and collect on the money. Done. Right back up to $68,000. We will jump back over to our T6 and we're going to cruise down to the spinnery. It's just up the road here. And then I also just seen another contract that has caught my attention that I may just do off camera real quick. It's a fertilizing contract. I really don't feel like you guys are going to miss out on a fertilizing contract. This is the one that jumped out at me. Oh, where did I just see it? Did I just see a $30,000 fertilizing contract and it went away? Oh, it's right there, field 34. That's the one. Yeah, we're just going to accept the contract there. We're also going to accept the contract on that field as well. Yeah, I mean, there's another $53,000, $54,000 in contracts right there to help us close out the month of April and be even more financially stable as we progress through the year here. Unfortunately, I think we're going to miss some of the prime time to purchase a field. Field 14, we don't have enough money to purchase that yet, which is kind of a bummer. I should take a peek at that and see if we have cotton planted there again. We do not have another pallet that has spawned. You, sir, need to slow down. Slow down. Now, don't mind me as I drive through this field. We have just begun the fertilizing contract here on field 24. We have a follow-on fertilizing contract to complete on field 39. Once again, the month of April has been very, very good to us. We are going to net probably pretty close to about I think by the time we're done, close to $90,000 in contracts in all. So once again, just good month. We need to make the money. As stated before, contracts are absolutely necessary for us right now at this stage in the game. It's kind of what you get yourself into when you're doing a start from scratch series. You're very reliant on other sources of income because obviously we can't afford equipment, we can't afford fields. So it's a bit of a slow burn at first, but we're getting there. We're making some good money. I think we're taking advantage of all the right contracts to try to put the most amount of money in our pocket. Now, to briefly recap everything that we've done so far in this episode, the big thing is we bought ourselves a production point. Our first ever production point here on Frankenmuth Farms, and it is in fact the spinnery. Very excited to have the spinnery as an option for us to continue to make some money. Fabric is absolutely going to be a clutch item for us to be selling. Even if we don't get the tailor shop production point for some time, fabric is still going to be this really good thing that we can utilize to put some extra money into our bank account. We have the contracts. The fertilizing contracts pay out very well. The baling contracts, as we just seen, are also very, very beneficial for us to complete as well. We put a couple open air gardens down. We have some crop that's going in there. We have the cotton open air open air garden that is helping us keep our spinnery fed so that we can continue to produce the fabric. We also have sunflowers and we also have soybeans. So those are giving us a little bit of income from month to month. Now, I won't say that we're going to be able to survive off of them, because I think from month to month, we're probably only actually making about $1,500 to $2,000 off of the crop that's being sold from the open air gardens, but nonetheless, they are an option. But for now, fellow farmers and friends, I do believe that is going to do it here from Frankenmuth Farms. Really appreciate everyone that has been following the series, following all the content, whether it's the No Man's Land series, the Frankenmuth Farm series, if you've been checking out the Beginner's Guide series, and then to all of you that have been dropping by for the live stream, absolutely awesome. The live streams have actually been a very, very good time, very, very energetic. Everyone's active in the chat. If you've not checked out the Misled Farms Discord, I'll drop a link to that below in the description of this video. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content here on Misled Farms. And with that, we'll catch you in the next one.